such a temper, gentlemen.
Yeah, the swearing honestly
The
flies.
swearing is the worst part. Like, I can say unaliving, I can say Quinky, I can say, when they were doing the do or whatever. Like, but take fuck out of my vocabulary and we're fucked.
Literally. Yep.
Skylar was the name of the girl who bullied me in high school, so I took it and made that bitch famous.
My God, I love that. I love this tattoo so much.
Thank you.
I
It
just have
says
to
do
tell you
not
that.
pet on the rockers.
Let's jump into it because I know that you are 3 hours ahead of me. So let's let you get on with your evening. So,
And I've been
Skylar,
shooting all day and I didn't sleep last night. It's fine, we have Red Bull.
Skylar, you are one of our Shop Quinky VIP content creators. So tell me a little bit about just your content. What kind of content people see from you now? Is it the same that you're bringing over to Quinky? What can they expect to see from you? Just give us a little who you are.
I guess I would be classified as cosplay. It's kind of whatever I want. I have a very high production value. We have in-house editing, videography, photography, all of that run by my partner. And we run basically a essentially full production studio from our house of me and him. I've done Futanari. I was a fetish model for a while. I did a lot of tickling videos back when I was a fetish model. Now I mostly do like boy, girl, 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 like very basic stuff because my fan base is not super kink friendly, if that makes sense. They really don't want that. It's very basic, even the customs I take. So I don't focus as much on the kink stuff. I'm open to the kink stuff, absolutely. I am a bratty switch. Yeah, it's pretty much really, really good quality.
I was going to say, and anybody that has seen even just like your pictures can see that you guys are using like nice, high quality.
It's a 12-year-old camera.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, that just shows what you can do with a camera if you know what you're doing. Even if it's an older camera, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's lighting. It's lighting. Everything is lighting. We're actually talking about doing kind of a creator tutorial series for Quinky was one of the things that I talked to them about. And I'm like, I just need to teach these people lighting. I do. Please.
Yeah. So in addition to your content that is just like your content that you put out for consumption for like the people that buy your subscription, you also plan on doing some like content where you are kind of helping teach people, let me help you take better pictures, take better videos.
You're running the kink education in general, and I would run like the creator education, if that makes sense. Just to explain how to do it and how to make it fit into your life so that it doesn't consume your life.
Yeah.
Like my entire house is a studio, but there's still like I have times where I am off. I have times where I'm on. And that separation that you really need to have mentally, as well as just producing good content. There's a huge mental health aspect that goes into it as a creator so that you're not constantly like, I have to be on top of this 100% of the time. Like last summer, I was sleeping an hour a night because I was just like, I blew up and I was like, I had FOMO almost.
Yeah.
So.
And it's hard to step out of it. You're right. When you're at home, because if you work somewhere, you have to physically leave there at the end of your workday. So it kind of removes you from that. But when it's in your house, it's a little harder to do that. And especially when it's something that is like making you money, it's hard not to like.
I mean, even when we were talking about like burlesque and the strip clubs and everything else, you clock out, you take off your heels, you take off your face, you are no longer Diamond, you're now Stacy. Like the superhero mask comes off. Yeah. And when you're a content creator, if you don't set those boundaries for yourself, it can consume you and it will absolutely drain the life out of you. And even like content creator couples, I've met quite a few that are like, oh, we had to step away from content creation because our like private time, we didn't want to be intimate anymore because it felt like work. And I'm like, okay, so don't shoot in your bedroom. We do not shoot in our bedroom, period. That is like our personal space. There are certain areas in my house that I do not shoot in, and that is reserved for like personal time.
That's a smart way to go. And something that I don't think a lot of people would think of until it starts to become a problem for them, which kind of goes to the experience that you have in the industry, because you were already in the industry before starting kind of really heavy into content creation. Like you said, you were working at a club. So talk a little bit about, like, how do we go from you being a stripper to being a content creator? Like, where did that sort of take off?
So like I've been a million things. I was a bartender, I was a welding apprentice, I was all kinds of stuff. I was a dancer for the longest. Just because I really enjoyed working for myself and making my own schedule and all of those things. With especially the mental health aspect that I do struggle with openly. Look at any of my social media, you'll find it. Being able to make my own schedule was super important, but the being in the clubs was really, really hard on me mentally.
Yeah.
Just with the sensory overload and then like constantly putting yourself in potentially dangerous situations. And that's not every single night. That's not, hopefully it never happens to a lot of people, but like if you already have bad experiences, your brain is constantly on edge. And I was just exhausted. So I like dabbled in content creation. COVID happened. Everybody joined OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And I kind of joined then, but I had danced a lot of places in the country and kept up with a lot of my like former customers. Even if I wasn't in a geographical area anymore, I still like kind of kept in contact with them. So I think my first month was like 1900, straight out the get-go. It slowed down for a little bit, and then I went viral on TikTok. Hi, my name is Skylar Calico, and I live the pants-free upside down pineapple community, and this is my cat. She's also not wearing pants. That whole thing that I never expected to blow up, and all of a sudden I was in the top like 0.1%. And it was no longer viable for me to be in the clubs, even though I do love pole dancing. I do love being on stage and all of those aspects. I don't care for VIP. I very much care for stage. It was more of a detriment to me to sit there for 8 hours and hope that somebody came in compared to I'm like, I could be at home sitting on my couch in my pajamas chatting with fans.
Yeah.
Or selling content that I made a month ago, 2 months ago, you kind of pre-making all the content. We're going to start shooting Christmas soon. It's August, but that's kind of how you have to do it. So, you kind of have that backlog and stuff. So I didn't have to, drain my body essentially. And before anyone gets into it, it's literally, I have friends who have torn their hips out of the socket doing like jade splits and stuff like that. Like it's bad. You are like destroying your body being on stage.
Yep.
Compared to I can be at home.
Right.
And yeah.
Comfortable. Yeah, no, I know somebody that broke a rib doing the jade split. Like anybody that has followed you for any amount of time, especially on TikTok, already could kind of guess how you heard about Shop Quinky. So we can skip that question. We already know how you heard about it. So what is the
because I annoy Michael on a regular basis. That's why.
And so the question instead that I want to ask is, because you are very business savvy, especially, you can tell that you learned the lessons as you were going through the industry. So you're very business savvy about this. So at what point do you make the business decision to go from just like, oh, cool, this is I heard about this idea, that's cool, to, okay, I'm joining?
At the end of the day, like my end goal is to kind of run my own production studio and step back from being like the actress into directing and filming and doing all of that and writing and everything and more on the production side, because I'm not gonna be 27 forever. I understand that, it is the golden handcuffs. One of the things that was drilled into me early by a lot of my mentors is like, it's not just about like how much money you can make today. It's about like investing into something for the future. OnlyFans has gone back and forth a million times on like, we're going to have adult content. We're not going to have adult content. We aren't. Oh, these are our terms of service. Just kidding. We don't like you, things like that. And so being able to, participate in building a new platform that I had a say in, that I could keep it safe, that we could keep it out of the hands of people who are really going to take advantage of others. Because that is a thing that was rampant and still is in the adult industry overall.
Yeah.
He's like you want in on this? I can teach you, but for free,
Yeah.
and things like that, like keeping it, for lack of a better term, safe, sane, and consensual.
The adult industry to a lot of people can feel or sound like it can very quickly get predatory, and it's not predatory because it's the adult industry. It can be predatory because it's an industry.
It's the same thing you see in the music industry. It's the same thing you see, everywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of times when we have people that get taken advantage of, they're very new and they're like, oh, friend. If not friend, why friend shape? Oh, no, not friend, not friend, not friend. And they don't realize until later, talking to a lot of my older, like, I say older, not older, like, been in the industry a while friends. They all kind of started in rough spots, like the industry wasn't always as safe as it is now. It is probably the safest that it's ever done. We have talent testing, we have all of these different things. I know a lot of producers, they're like, listen, if you show up fucked up, you're going home.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, it's, with content creation in general, you've also put the power back into the hands of the creators. So that way you don't have to work with an agent and be like, well, I don't normally do this, but I really need the money, so I guess I will. You can make your own boundaries. You can set your own rules, your own hours, everything, instead of, when I went to AVN and I see the girls who are still models for hire compared to, like, I don't do for hire work. They are doing back to back shoots. And I'm like, honey, there's a better way. There's, like, you are exhausted. You've been running for 24 hours straight and making barely anything off of it. Like, So the age of the porn star is kind of going. I hate to say it, but it's very much content creators now.
So you mentioned AVN. I do want to circle around to that one because that was one of the things that you mentioned in your questionnaire that you are promoting for, because you are going to be at AVN. Was it next year?
Yeah.
Awesome. So for those that don't know what AVN is, give just a little blurb to kind of explain, what it is, what they can expect to see from you.
It is the Adult Video Network award show, and there's like a convention and everything else. I go because it's in Vegas, and I like Vegas. And not even for the gambling, just for like the food. AVN is like, it's called Porn Star Prom.
That's a good
So
way
the
to put
dress
it.
code is so strict. It is so ridiculously strict. Like, I brought a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh yeah, this would pass in every strip club in literally the world, and or fucking bikini bar even, and I got dress coded several times. I'm like, oh, like, you can't even do like see-through with pasties, like even slightly see-through. You like have to have your full butt covered. I'm like, why is it walking around in dresses? And then I'm like, oh, that's why you can't have, like, at your booth, you can't have like anything with any kind of genitalia on it or like any kind of profane acts. So you can't sell those kind of posters or anything else. And I'm like, do you understand what kind of convention this is?
Yeah, do you know, like, who you invited here? Like, do you know what you're doing here?
Like, Brazzers is right there. What are we doing?
When you go, do you go just for the awards, or do you go for the full expo and everything?
I usually go for the expo and then skip the awards.
Really?
Not gonna lie. It's cool for them. I love that for them. It's something that I'm just like, that's a lot of work. And then I have to like stay on top of it of like, yeah, fans, go ahead and vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. And I'm like, no.
It is. It becomes a second part full-time job. Like,
I struggle enough with the things that I do slightly successfully.
Self-promotion in any sense is a full-time thing. It's especially when what you're promoting is yourself and is content.
If it weren't for COVID, OnlyFans would not have blown up the way it did.
No.
At all.
Oh, I don't think so, for sure. That's literally where I started here, and it was just, and it came from the people that that became full-time job because the world, basically shut down. Yeah.
That was me until Illinois opened up. This is actually where I got my titles. During COVID was the time that I started competing and winning stuff. But when Florida shut down, Illinois was like shut down for a little bit, and then they opened back up before Florida did. And my best friend lived in Illinois and was a feature entertainer and was like, oh, hey, Bambi Wild is the owner of, Lux Showgirls. She says you can totally come up. You just have to get a COVID test. I'm like, sweet. So I went and stayed in Raven Colley's fucking basement for a month, waiting for Florida to open back up because at least I could work in Illinois.
What is your favorite type of content to make also the same as your most popular content, or are those two different answers?
Oh, God. Honestly, my most popular content is whatever I promote the most.
That's fair.
So, like, I will say, like, Mika Made was a huge success, and that's because I learned how to use Shopify and Printify, and I made a ton of merch for it. And then, I have my wonderful graphic designer who made a bunch of designs, advertising it. My other one was like My First Day as a Succubus. And both of these were spur of the moment. Like, we had no concept going into it. We're just like, okay, like, we didn't even have, they're both POV, boy, girl. They look good, but
yeah,
like, based on things that we've set up, we've planned, we have a second shooter to get different angles, things like that. So it's not all POV. Compared to like the stuff that's been POV, I'm like, okay. So yeah, I do. I will say my original character cosplays do really, really well. And then any kind of comedic stuff I do, it really depends on like how stupid and funny I get. And like, I guess how into it I am. You can tell like, obviously my mental health dipped at a certain point, and that content was not selling as well. Yeah. It just wasn't. It wasn't doing as well. And people were just like, compared to like, now that I'm back, that's selling like hotcakes. Because they're like, wow, you have light in your eyes. And I'm like, y'all noticed that while you're jerking? Really? You're like, yeah, she looks really mentally healthy. Like,
the things that people don't realize they're seeing, like they can't put words to what they're seeing, but it is the genuine enjoyment that you may not realize that you can tell that difference between those two in that moment. But when you have that comparison, you go, okay, yeah,
I will say I've almost never faked an orgasm for a video outside of like my Futanari's, because yes, a prosthetic dildo coming is definitely doing it for me. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
But it was just more like the exhaustion, like we used to shoot, in the rough of it, and we'd get like 30 minutes done of setup into shoot. We'd get maybe one video, maybe a photo set, and I'd be like, I'm exhausted and I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And now we can shoot for like 8 hours, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. Let's keep going because I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's the having fun. It's the having fun. And not to say that you wouldn't have been enjoying it, but there is just, you can only enjoy things so much when you are that exhausted.
And that depressed and everything else. Yeah, it can be something that you really enjoy doing. I mostly shoot with my partner. More for convenience sake than anything else.
I'm really looking forward to people being able to like hear you talk about from like the educational angle when they start thinking about like, okay, what type of content do you want to do? What type of sex worker do you want to just like, I'm going to put out content, or I'd like to collaborate with people. I want to work with people. And then like, how do you
really have to be picky on like my collaborations. I book based on personality, which is crazy to say. Like, I will say every single co-star that I've had, I am friends with them. I want it to be like, hey, I would hang out with you outside of this. It's not just like I had one star that I went to book, and I did not end up booking her, even though she was totally down. But just like some of the ways that she talked to me, I was like, honey, I don't know if that's drugs or mental illness or what is going on, but no, I do not appreciate being talked to like that, and I don't feel like we're gonna get along. So no, please don't come to my house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I do. I book on personality more than anything. It doesn't matter to like, you know, guys are always like, oh, does size matter? Oh, and I'm like, I really don't care. I honestly don't care. Can I sit down and have a conversation with you? It's a lot of work to start with content creation. It's a lot of work. You have to drive that fan base. You have to, it's not just going to generate on its own. You don't just sit there and go, here's my butt. Pay me. There's a million butts on the internet. What makes yours different?
Exactly. How are you going to set yourself aside? Why do people want to see you versus anybody else that they could stumble onto? Like,
it's like everyone brings up like Pornhub's free. Yeah, it is. But you don't have that interaction. You don't have that connection. You don't have that like one-on-one. You're just like, wow, there's two people. And it goes in and out and in and out.
And there's a million and one videos on there that are hard to tell apart from one to the other because it is just the same formula all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So one of the questions I like to ask on this is, if Shop Quinky were just like live tomorrow, we're on the other side of it, everything's just lights on, what is the thing that you are most excited about being part of this?
It's not so much like, yes, the launch, but just watching this grow and watching like all of the input and all of the pieces fall together and everything else. Like yes, the launch is exciting, but it's just been like watching it be able to come together and then having that all hands meeting and seeing how far we are and being like, wow, holy shit, we're doing it.
That's a real thing.
We're actually doing this. Wow. Oh God. You know?
Yeah, no, I do that too. It goes like exciting, panic, exciting, panic.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, now there's expectations of me. Oh no.
Yeah, new Moxie University video every 10 days. I'm like,
see, mine we're just talking about doing like a quick series and then seeing if we need to add any in the future. But like, it's just like, hey, Skylar, touch on these points. You're good.
Exactly. I panic, but then like I look through all the questions that I've gotten over the years. I'm like, I have more than enough to work with, and then I don't have to like quink educator. Like, I'm a kink educator. Oh my God, I can say it. Skylar, other than Shop Quinky, where can people find you?
So my main site, which can lead you to all my sites, is skylarcalico.vip. I'm currently working on buying skylarcalico.com. I used to own it. Somebody bought it when I let it lapse. Now I got to go through a broker. But yeah, my merch shop is theskylarcalico.com. All of my sites are on skylarcalico.vip. Instagram, Skylar Calico Live, because the original Skylar Calico got nerfed. TikTok, both Skylar Calico and Skylar Calico Live. X, Skylar Calico. Blue Sky, Skylar Calico. I wonder what my fucking name is.
Great. I'm going to even put your like quote down there under. It'll be like, as Skylar Calico says, my brother in Christ, Google me. Safe search off. I fucking love it.
Oh
Skylar, thank you so much for doing this with me. This was really fun. I'm glad I finally actually had a chance to talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.